Happy 4/4 porthole. We're gonna do some nice Lyran cards. Today is a huge Lyran porthole. We will talk about that. Just give me 1 minute while I'm finding this video and getting it set up and shared out. If you're just finding me, take a second to go ahead and say hi, leave a comment, connect with the energies. Take a second to also hit the share button, especially if you're trying to get cards and things like that, and just bear with me while I share this out. I've been posting all day about the 4/4 porthole. Today is a big energy. We definitely want to be tapping into and using the energies in whatever way. So take a second to also share this video out. We're going to talk about the 4/4 porthole. I think it's very important. This is one of, I don't want to say, this is a very important space for the awakening that's happening too. And we'll talk about that a little bit, about the Lyran template and why. So during this time, we receive a lot of light codes from Lyra, a lot of galactic energies that can help us with what we're trying to do here, which is healing and restoring our DNA template. Okay, make sure you guys are sharing this out so I can get started, especially if you're trying to get a card and things like that. Okay, so Lyrans are an advanced civilization, but they played an important role in our planet and our original template. So we know we've had a lot of damage, trauma, right? I don't go through the list and other things that have maybe disconnected us a little bit spiritually and energetically. And so this is part of the work of a star seed, is to heal yourself and activate and restore your divine template, your blueprint. And so the original template was actually Lyran. So these energies are amazing because they can help us with activating dormant DNA, light body activations, helping us with anchoring into higher timelines, closing out lower timelines. Expect big shifts as we're moving through these energies. The energies are quite high. They have been a little bit anyways, as we've been moving through, we'll say since the eclipse gateway and stuff like that. Now we're in the energies of the 4/4 porthole though, and you can expect that these can help you with connecting spiritually, connecting to your higher self. So pay attention to the intuitive downloads and energetic downloads that you're getting, because they are coming. You might just be getting more clarity on your path, what to be doing, where it's taking you, or what to be working on, or even some of the energies that you're being guided to work with. This is a powerful manifestation porthole too, for helping us to obviously connect with higher states of consciousness. And so we can expect a lot of people to have like a rapid spiritual awakening, or maybe you're already awakened and you're waking up more and kind of going through like a mini awakening within an awakening, because we go through lots of stages and layers of that. Or even just kind of connecting on a greater level. So pay attention to the downloads that you're getting. You might be getting a lot of clarity, insight, sensing things in your dreams, feeling the energies, going through it. And then we go through a lot of heart chakra expansion oftentimes when we go through these energies, or even kind of feeling our energy out and connecting. It's a good time to connect with your body and kind of sense and feel your energy, or any areas you need to work on energetically and things like that. So powerful energies coming through. Okay, make sure you guys are checking out my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. I have a ton of healings, clearings, and activations that I do all of the time. I have a lot of stuff up for the 4/4 porthole today too. I've pinned those links for the healings and activations on my video. That's what I'm going to be doing all day too. It's what you want to be doing to connect with these energies. You want to be doing some type of energy healing work in them. So it's a great day for doing activation work. I have the 4/4 porthole activations pinned on this video, and hopefully all over my page. They're kind of at the bottom on my site because I have the next couple of days stuff up. So if you scroll, you'll see them on my website too. But I've made it easy and kind of pinned them on my pages, I hope, everywhere, right? So great day to stop by my website if you need to do some healing or you want to do some type of activation work. I also do psychic readings on there, and I teach a ton of classes like Reiki and Sakhem, and I'm always trying to get you guys into this stuff more. So I have tons of like classes, readings, healings on there. If you need me, you just go ahead and book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. Okay, we're doing Lyran Oracle. I love it. We are doing all things 4/4, all things Lyran today. So make sure you guys have left a comment and shared this out. If you guys are able to send PayPal donations or sign up and be a supporter or send stars, please do. It's an awesome way you guys can give something back if you're getting something out of this page. But if you're sending stars, I'm going to give you a psychic shout out. Otherwise, it's completely random. So you know what to do if you want a card. Okay, make sure you guys are sharing this out. I have my book links pinned to my video. I swear I'm trying to get to do more cards and things like that, but you guys know I'm just busy doing real work on my website when I'm not hanging out on Facebook, right? So you guys know where to find me. Is why I do these videos, so you guys can find me to do the healing work with me too. So make sure you guys are checking out my website. I have so many amazing things up for today. Okay, so Lyran card, seeing what is happening. Antonio. And I love this, I was like trying to pull the Lyran stuff out. Great day for doing DNA work today too. White Lion Collective, opportunity, time of introspection, and gates opening. And this is my portholes are open. The universe begins to really, really open up. It gives us a chance, like in the Stargate, like it's not like a movie, but I'm gonna compare it to a movie. Like they open the porthole and guess what? You go through to somewhere else. But we're doing that anyways, but these porthole days actually open things up and they can help us to jump timelines and make quantum leaps and shift to the places we want to be. This might be towards your manifestations. It might be towards a goal. It might be something you've been really working on for a long time. It's like the energies really move on these days and you could have felt a little stagnant, welcome to 2025, or stuck the past couple of months, and suddenly things are flowing and moving in the right direction, and you're going to feel this in your energy field, but you're going to see noticeable outer shifts. We notice our life keeps unfolding and flowing and moves around all of the time. And I mean in a positive way. We can be learning how to really work with these ascension energies, and we need to be, or we're just kind of letting them pass us by. So we want to be tapping into these gateway or porthole days to be, whether we're making shifts, putting out our intentions. Today is the best day to put out our intentions. Now, the thing most people don't realize is you guys are all day long anyways with your thoughts. So if you're thinking about all your stress and worries today, that's what you're going to keep experiencing. But if you start to shift gears and focus on things you're grateful for, things you really want to manifest, goals, passions, things you're working towards, the energies are going to help you to get there very, very fast. And so part of doing the spiritual work is clearing the limiting beliefs and putting out better intentions for our life or our path or where we want to go to. So the porthole is open. This gateway energy is flowing in. We're receiving a lot of very high frequency energies. That is what is actually kicking off our spiritual awakening journey and our ascension, the changing of energies that is happening. We're receiving a lot of high frequency energies, and so our bodies are needing to recalibrate and adjust to hold this high frequency energy. This is why we do a lot of work to raise our spiritual and vibrational frequency and to kind of get a little more intentional with what we're putting out there. This card also has another message, like many messages on these cards, of reflecting. That's the energy of spiritual awakening. Spending a little bit more time by yourself. I see that nowadays like never before in our time, where some of us are being guided to kind of do this work on ourselves and by ourselves at different points in the journey. I am all for connecting, don't get me wrong, but some of the work is done within ourselves, and this is the work of reflecting and tuning into things and awakening and sitting with the universe and sitting with your thoughts and fine-tuning your thoughts. And we're in a double retrograde energy still. I know it's almost lifting, but it's still here. And we're in it, and this is the space where we go within and really tune into ourselves and our thoughts. So you might be spending a little bit of time in, I don't want to call it hermit because we're not in that energy anymore, like reflecting energy, or just paying attention to your thoughts or where they're taking you, because our thoughts are actually bringing us through and cycling us through life too. So our thoughts are very, very important as to what we're connected with and tapping into. You might be being guided to spend a little bit of time reflecting on your thoughts. Maybe you're not wanting to, but it's happening with the retrograde energy. We're going to do David Curtin, Third Eye, 333. You might be seeing the number 333. I always say that's kind of a flame number too, but it's the Holy Trinity number. Truth revealed, work wise, not hard. This is the Magician, and I had a lot of these messages coming through. I know I put a similar message on the video that I'll upload later, and through a reading I was doing last night. This is tapping into the energy of the Magician, and I find this very helpful for the collective. When we have the actual Magician card of the tarot, it's the infinity symbol as well too. But this is like I'm not saying we don't have to work prison planet, right? We're not going to go there, but this is actually like getting getting things done in a different way. We're learning how to navigate these energies differently, and you might have to, and you're learning how to more manifest. Like, I know we have to put in the action, I'm not saying that, but this card requires you to connect with the energy of dreaming. And I mean while awake, with your thoughts, your visions, your dreams, and your goals, as we're talking about, to bring these things through. And so our mindset has a lot to do with what we're going to experience and the realities that we are creating, because we tend to create realities, many of them, right? And so it's going to have a lot to do with what you're bringing through. We're in a huge space right now for anchoring our 5D visions here into the physical. This is also a time with the 444 portal energy to connect and anchor your visions and dreams and goals here into the physical and make them tangible. We're building the foundation right now, and I feel a lot of this, of course, is building our energy foundation and the space through what we can bring this through, like the container for it all ourselves, but also bringing that through whatever it is you're building or wanting to build in the long term. This stuff is starting to show up and come through very, very strong during this time. I found it can take a lot of years of kind of working on your energy to bring these things through into the physical, but we're at that space where things are finally coming into the physical, and you're starting to, I want to say, reap the rewards or the harvest of everything that you've been doing, and all of this spiritual work that you've been doing on healing yourself and your energy field. Suddenly it's starting to show up in a very physical kind of way in your reality too. This is the card of the magician. The magician can bend reality at their whim. We're learning how to do that, whether it's shifting timelines and doing things within these 5D energies. It's all a learning process that we go through of learning how to navigate these energies. But once we do, we're really getting the skills that we need to flow through them, and not just flow through them, like do really well in them too. So this is like the energy of the magician, tapping into your power. A lot of spiritual healing and spiritual awakening is to clear out all of the internal beliefs and negative views and things about ourselves, and to really step into our power, because the magician is all about letting go of any areas that are zapping your energy or your power, and fully stepping into your power and seeing your power and, you know, feeling it and believing it and all of that solar plexus stuff. So while this is a third eye message, this is also a solar plexus message of truly healing your solar plexus and clearing and releasing the cleansing we go through with awakening. You guys notice that maybe not all the time, but you have a lot of ascension symptoms that come up from the chakras. As your chakras begin to receive this high frequency energy, they begin a purging process. And like, not every day, thank God, but I mean on and off for a long time, you go through a lot of energy purging, and some of this might come through your stomach chakra, your solar plexus. I know a lot of people probably have stomach symptoms and things like that, because you're releasing so much old energy and things from your template to embody these higher frequencies. It's a process that we go through with spiritual awakening and ascension. So also when we begin to really do that chakra work and release these old emotions and energies and traumas from our solar plexus, we begin to empower ourselves and step into our power on a manifesting level, because it's everything that's been blocking us and kept us in old cycles or creating things that weren't great for us. So as you're going through this healing, you're really beginning to step into your power. And so I mean this on many different levels, but this is a third eye message about working with the energies of the third eye to create and to manifest. Let's do Tiffany. Good morning. Peace. Slow down, recharge, and take a break. And so sometimes we're just needing to, we call it integrate. Now, I put a post up this morning talking about some of the best ways, I say, to integrate these energies, energy work, right? Nature, right? And someone was saying that, especially if you guys, it hasn't quite warmed up for you yet, right? I know I'm kind of in weird weather over here, but I know someone was saying, I just miss the nature. They weren't in the best weather, but you might be craving nature to integrate some of these energies too. There's a lot of energy flowing through the planet, and maybe not quite yet, but the earth begins to awaken and we begin to really feel that. And you might be craving nature during this time, because it helps us to integrate these higher frequency energies that we're receiving into the body. And I feel grounding them is very, very important. And maybe not even that. Sometimes you're needing to slow down and rest. And it's like, why are we living in these weird times? And and we're not getting much done all of the time, but we are. Like, you're always making progress in your life, but sometimes we can't keep up with the, as I call it, the grind anymore. And maybe you're not meant to. I was saying, I don't think I was ever able to keep up with that. And maybe sometimes, you know, you're on this empath or spiritual level or this awakened level, and sometimes you can be sensitive to energies, whether the people or frequency around you or energies coming into the planet. And I saw that big time with that eclipse for a lot of people that, you know, aren't into this stuff or suddenly really feeling those energies. So we're really feeling the energies like never before, but we're still having to navigate the earth matrix experience and get a lot done, right? And so you're having to integrate, as we say, some of these upgrades that you're going through, and you're receiving a lot of energies. And sometimes we're like, you know, I'm not doing a lot, but I don't know why I'm so zapped or tired. Or maybe you're not, maybe you're zooming, but the universe wants you to slow down a minute. Like, sometimes if we slow down and we reflect retrogrades, you know, we can get more clarity and move forward with more purpose and make better movements, right? I find a lot of people get stuck in cycles in their life. And I always talk about this to people, like, to pay attention to the cycles. If they keep repeating and you keep going, a little bit like a hamster on a wheel, just running around in the same circle all the time, sometimes we're guided to get off of the treadmill and to break out of certain patterns, programs, things not serving us, heal things, release things, whatever it is, so we don't keep going round and round in the same cycles. Maybe just take a pause for a minute and kind of reflect and to heal things, so that we're not going around and around getting the same results which aren't serving us, so we can break out of things and kind of go a little bit higher too. So this could be just maybe sometimes you're being guided to slow down, and I try to really listen to my own spirit guides as they're taking me through my own experience. So there's days I know, like, I'm supposed to rest, and when I don't listen, like, right? So sometimes you'll know, like, your spirit guides are going to tell you. Sometimes the divine feminine energy is to integrate this, or to rest, or just to slow down and to be open to receive. And I found that sometimes when you do, you open up for the universe to bless you, bring things in, bring the manifestations in. Because if you're always going and your focus is over here, how's the universe going to come and step in? Sometimes we're being guided to stop with the ego and just kind of be open to and see how things are unfolding. But this could be just a need to integrate some of these upgrades, and you might be feeling it on a physical level. Okay, Jamie DeRosa. Good morning. The merge. In the depths rest the treasures. And I love this because this is, and I love it, right? My little galactic card. And this is, here you go. Here's all the energy in you, planet Earth, right? So we're going through a lot of upgrades. You want to be tapping into these energies, but we're also opening up to divine consciousness and higher consciousness through this transformation. It is all about your spiritual connection and how you are embodying that here into the physical. We have a lot of activating our blueprint, divine purpose, what you're doing here, higher energies right now, and kind of connecting with these energies. This is starseed energy too. A lot of you guys are experiencing a spiritual awakening with these everyone on planet Earth, whether they've realized it or not, okay, is going through some type of spiritual process, spiritual awakening. Even the ones who are fully, you know, on board with it, they are too, and are going through these energies. So these energies are having a big impact on us, meant to be in a positive way. This is supposed to be waking you up, making you more lucid, more conscious, more aware, you know, on many different levels and things like that too. Also, I talk about one of the things that we go through is wanting to heal. And this could be to wanting to improve yourself or your life, or knowing you might need to heal certain wounds or, you know, things going on. And that's part of the spiritual awakening too, gravitating towards healing, working on yourself, and then just becoming more aware and more lucid as you're connecting with these energies. This is a good thing. It means you're making better decisions, hopefully, right? Seeing things more clear, knowing what to do, getting more clear on your inner guidance and your intuition, which really, really helps you, because, you know, we were all a little lost when we were asleep and weren't very connected on that level and didn't make the best choices. So I see a lot of people making more clear, aligned choices and working on getting more aligned energetically. And that's the key of all of this too. So just working on yourself, raising your frequency and getting more aligned energetically. Okay, Sylvia, good morning. Synchronicity, miracles let loose, and recognition. And I love this. So synchronicity is so much. I wrote the twin flame angel number book and something I really wanted to go into just on synchronicity. So synchronicity is the universe trying to send you a direct message and get your attention. Sometimes we're getting the downloads real clear and sometimes not so much. It's like we're always getting the energy. Now the thing is the universe is energy, but communicates with us through energy. This is what we talk about when we talk about energy downloads and getting insights. And you know, a lot of you guys are tapping into a lot of cosmic knowledge and integrating that and, you know, downloading things. Okay, but sometimes the universe has been trying to get our attention, and this could be in the form of angel numbers, synchronicity, and things like that. And I wrote about this a lot. I feel that it's important to pay attention to what you are thinking about when you draw. We could say a line, an angel number to you, or it could be some loud sign like you didn't know if you were going to move to Kentucky or Kansas, and suddenly Kansas is flashing all over your television screen or on your way to work, and it's like, wow, okay, I'm getting some obvious signs here. And it's like the universe communicating with you. So sometimes you might be getting a lot of signs, miracles, synchronicity, nudges in the right direction. You know, this could come through your insights or things you're actually seeing in your reality, because I love to read reality and kind of decode it, and we can kind of get a lot of clues and breadcrumbs and things like that. So synchronicity is like getting a little breadcrumb, then canceling bread, you're a little lost, following the breadcrumbs and the signs and things like that. So we should be paying attention, but a lot of these times, these synchronicities, angel numbers, signs, nudges, they're just for you. You might go try to tell your best friend about it. Like I know people who wrote them all down and they're trying to share it with people, and people were like, okay, whatever. Some of these might be specific to you, the universe learning to communicate with you, because as we open up, we learn how to better communicate with the universe and to get more guidance through, more clarity and more sense of direction. So that is one thing that can help you with. I spent a lot of time, I talk about on my path, Googling those angel numbers I was getting and getting a lot of direction from it, because I was feeling a little lost, if we get a little honest about Earth, right? I'm feeling a little lost at times, but you're getting a lot of synchronicity, and this is like, just as the universe, your angels letting you know they're right there with you, holding your hand through the experience and helping you and trying to give you divine guidance and direction. And so you can look up, and I encourage you to do that when you're getting a synchronicity, when you're getting an angel number, whether it's seeing some type of weird bird or animal or symbolism or dream message, to look it up. That's what Google's for, right? Or angel number, and it can give you a lot of specific message, clarity. It could be seeing as something in your dream, like oftentimes I love to read dreams and we can see some type of symbolism, and you don't remember much, but you remember seeing like a certain, you know, something, anything, an umbrella, an animal. What do you remember about it, right? And looking this stuff up, and it's going to give you a lot of messages and clues, and tapping into your subconscious, which holds everything, by the way, including, you know, where we're going in our reality. So we can look these messages up, and we can get a lot of messages through some of the symbolism and other little messages and nudges that we get. A lot of you guys get a lot of spirit, that's another talk, but a lot of spirit messages in that way too. And this is how you know that these are messages coming from specific people, that only that person could be sending you certain signs and messages too. So we can get them in many forms. Let's do Pam, thank you so much for the stars. Glad they're working again. Wonder. Presence, well-being, and gift of life. And I love this because it's the flower, and I was thinking about this because you are the flower, has been going through some intense, right? Getting the soil ready and all of this intense process. And so oftentimes we want to blossom and bloom all the time, but you go through cycles and seasons of your life, and we're just getting there. Because when I think of the flower, I think of the flower life symbolism in our DNA and all that's been encoded there. And that's how awakening is. It's like you were going through your 3D experience and the karmic cycles and things you had to work off in your life, and suddenly, oh my God, your DNA begins to activate, first stage of awakening, and you begin to have a spiritual awakening, and you begin to go through a huge metamorphosis and transformation. I always talk about the caterpillar to the butterfly, but we can talk about that flower literally hidden within your template and your DNA, which many of you guys may find and activate, right? So this is to activate your DNA and to bring online your entire 5D template, which has been, I don't want to say hidden, encoded in your DNA, that a lot of people do not tap into. A lot of people, they don't tap into all of this stuff, but we are, and we have the potential to, like never before on planet Earth before. So this is a lot of activating your DNA and bringing that through and bringing that online, this entire 5D template and blueprint too. Working on doing your healing will do that. Oftentimes it's our karma and trauma that block that with our awakening and keep us connected to lower frequencies and lower timelines. And as we do that work to really heal and, let go of certain things in our life, we begin to be able to access that. So healing is a huge step in all of this too, because it's how we activate our spiritual gifts and bring online our 5D template and DNA, and to really go in and activate that too. So a lot of times we want to skip the healing. I don't know why people do. And I'm like, we go through the healing phase and then we really begin to activate and bring online like our gifts and wisdom and all of this powerful stuff that we definitely want to be tapping into too. It's why I do so many activations. I hope you guys see that on my page. I'm like, active, and that's why I do so many, because it's what we need as starseeds to bring online some of this stuff and to activate some of these areas, like energetically or even within our DNA too. I know I have Lyran DNA activation one on my site and things like that. That's why I'm always doing a lot of activation energy work too, which can really, really help us to bring online like our spiritual template, blueprint, or even our gifts and things like that too. So as starseeds, doing energy work is crucial to activating and bringing online more of your spiritual gifts and things like that too, to heal on the energy level. A lot of this work should be, I should say, done on the energy level too. So that's why I'm always posting a ton of activations, if you guys didn't notice. Let's see. Magdalene. Peaceful reunion. Reunions bring healing, and we can go through many of these reunions on a soul and a spiritual level. I was telling myself this morning I had a nice one with a family member not that long ago. It was many years later, like reunion, right? And it was very nice though, and I believe that sometimes we plan out some of these encounters and things like that, so we can have a reunion anytime that you might be. This could be reconnecting with a lover or a flame or someone from your past, or anyone really. It's your soul coming back together, and we do that on Earth. I don't think we look at that like in the big picture, that some of your soul contracts, even the family you picked, these are probably past life reunions happening to learn with certain people. And we should probably really see how important it is learning in any connection, because I was telling myself, like, downloads that sometimes we only learn with someone one time. Like, I was telling myself that's how it seems when I've met some people. Like, you've only learned one time and making the most of it. Like, if you knew you were just going to do this one connection one time and making the most of, certain connections, because we learn through connection here on planet Earth, and we have such a capacity to find transformation and healing through these connections that come into our life or are divinely guided into our life. But this could be, if you've been separated from anyone, this could be like a lover, and some of you guys have separations happening with family members or things like that. This is like a healing reunion kind of positive energy. So I'm not saying to reconnect with toxic people from your past, but someone might be coming in, and this could be, if you're in some type of separation energy, or even just kind of reconnecting on a healthier level in some type of way. It could be an old friend coming in, it could be a family member, someone coming back in. It could be someone new coming into your awareness that you think is new, and this is a past life connection coming into your life that's going to be very, very powerful and play an important role in your spiritual journey too. So stay open in some way. A healing happening. Rose Claire. Collective consciousness. Tap into the alive field. And so this is like the energy all around. We can tap into the energy and we can read things. We can, sometimes we want to bring these gifts online through practice. Like, maybe if you want to know something, this is a good way to learn how to connect. You could sit and meditate, or just sit in silence. You could ask the universe a question. This could be something personal on your own life and you want to go into it. Notice how powerful your thought is. So you could tune into something from your past, something you want to know, maybe something from the future, and you can sit and practice, and we can tap into anything. We have this, we call it the quantum field, or the Akashic, which is actually an energy. I have a lot of, I know I have some stuff on reading the Akashic records on my site. So we could call it the Akashic records. You could ask a question on anything. This is why within the 5D, things are very, very open. So when a lot of times I do a lot of phone call sessions with you guys, and I tap in and I'll answer things. And this is how I can easily tap in and I say I'm a remote viewer, so I can remotely tap into like your situation or what's going on or things within the field, because everything's very open and sometimes we don't realize that. That's how maybe you could be sitting at your house connecting and, you know, you want to know something about someone's situation or someone close to you, and you're probably going to get information on it because it's all energy. It's all energetically encoded in energy that we can tap into. Some of you guys are getting better at tapping into and connecting to energy. This could be as simple as kind of tuning into what's going on with someone or their private situation or what's kind of going on. So in the 5D, everything's a little bit more open, I always say, which makes it easier. Like, right? I know some people don't like the idea of that. Everything's an open book, as they say, right? The Akashic is always represented by the book in the library. And so everything's more open, but it makes it a lot easier to discern things. Like maybe in the 3D, there's a lot more illusions and things like that, but in the 5D, it's more open. You can kind of sense things and tell things. You might be able to pick up on people's intentions better. That's a starseed gift, right? Maybe you can read people's intentions, or if they're okay for you or maybe not so great for you and things like that. So this is tapping in on the energy level and learning how to connect more on the energy level. And then it helps when you can better read people's energy and things like that. Let's do Suzanne N. Mystery School. Curiosity opens up advanced awareness. And I love this because these are like very connected with ancient Egypt, the Lyrans, and other civilizations too, and our planet and things like that. And I love this because it's where we come from. And sometimes we forget that. I'm not going to make my joke. They told us we came from the monkeys. Oh my God. Okay, in reality, I'm like, this is where we come from, right? I know. Okay, so anyways, we have a lot of galactic DNA from our ancestors and things like that. Sometimes we just think we have a lot of trauma from our family lines, but we have a lot of cool stuff in our DNA that usually remains dormant, but also the history of our planet, where we really come from. And we know that we're actually galactic, and galactics came and seeded the planet many times, I'm sure, and our DNA and things like that too. So you see a lot of Lyran symbolism, obviously encoded with ancient Egypt and other past civilizations, where they were trying to help guide us in a good direction within our ascension and spiritually and things like that too. So this person getting the message, you might have a past life connection with Egypt. I believe, I mean, maybe some of the souls here lived in a lot of these previous times, and we probably made up a collective. Hi, we're making a Planet Earth Collective 2025 if you're here, and we're having a collective experience, but we also may have lived in previous times, and this is where we tap into past lifetimes if they're important to the now. And this was important to the now and things like that too, because I believe if we go further back, there were probably a lot of very enlightened civilizations that were quite galactic and high tech. Like, I know we don't see it that way, like the way we've been taught, but they were probably quite advanced and high tech and had a lot of, you know, galactic technology. And I feel that's coming in our time, where when we can learn how to behave like little kids, right? When we can learn how to get along and behave that simple, there will be a lot of very cool things that are unfolding in the next couple of years that will make life a lot easier on planet Earth, right? And so it's like a little bit like, you know, all the toys get taken away because people weren't playing nice with them. And that goes for the gifts and the abilities and having to learn certain lessons. And we've come to this space where we're just getting our gifts and abilities back after that long on planet Earth, because people weren't getting along and playing nice with them and things like that. So we're suddenly at this place where we're evolved enough to be kind of given the toys back, not our gifts, but I mean tech toys are going to kind of come in and things like that, that will make planet Earth a lot easier than some of where we're at currently and stuff like that. So I see a lot of good things that are going to come out of some of the energy changes and the awakening, and people kind of getting switched on and getting their gifts and abilities back. And it is through your personal gifts and abilities that we brought them here to planet Earth that you can probably really help the planet in some type of way. And when we get on board with that on a collective level, I think it'll be amazing, where everyone shifts to being of service and being more nice and helpful and helping the planet in some type of way. Each person here that is experiencing a spiritual awakening, I feel every person anyways comes here with a soul mission and purpose, but a lot of people may not connect on that level, even though it's encoded in you. You brought it with you as part of your life plan. But the people that are awake are very much connecting with their spiritual gifts and how they can help with them in some type of way. And sometimes this might be in a little way, sometimes in a big way too. And so these gifts are powerful for bringing a transformation to the planet in a big kind of way. You see a lot of light workers kind of waking up and getting on their mission and helping in some type of way, and it makes the place a lot better. We'll just put it that way. So this is connecting with your, we'll say, past lives in ancient Egypt might be very, very important in the teachings that your soul still has within you. We might think we lost everything, but it's within you. You have all of this ancient knowledge and cosmic knowledge, and part of spiritual awakening might be bringing it back online and to connect with that, or to reintegrate it, or to activate it on some level. So your soul carries a lot of ancient knowledge that can really help you in, I say activating, bringing that online and integrating it, and maybe getting that understanding back here in the now, because sometimes that's part of spiritual awakening, kind of, we'll say, activating that energy and bringing it online, or being able to access it or tap into it. Jennifer Thies. Boundaries. No is yes to self-love. So when we are constantly saying yes to things we want to say no to, like you knew you didn't want to do that, obligation. Okay, you had this little voice in your head. You're like, your friend asked you to do something and you did not want to go, but you're like, sure, yeah, people pleasing. Okay, yeah, I'll be there. And then when you do that enough, you tend to lose yourself because you are living for everyone else and doing everything. Now, I get sometimes you got to do things in life, right? But I mean, like, this is where you're always saying yes to things you don't want to be doing. Now, I told myself this because sometimes you get invitations in life and I just didn't feel like doing something. And I told myself that saying no gave me space to open up to things that were more aligned for me. So if we're constantly doing things that we just know are not aligned, that no is a not aligned. You're like, you don't want to be doing this. If you keep showing up for things that are not in alignment, you don't have any room for things that are. So in politely declining invitations that aren't for you, or whatever it is, saying no and setting good boundaries, you actually open up to maybe the universe bringing in things, opportunities, doorways, to things that are more aligned for you too. Now, we have problems with boundaries because as children, we're definitely not taught boundaries. Imagine telling your parents at 6 years old, no, thank you, I don't want to. Sorry, right? You're like, right? So we actually are not taught healthy boundaries as a child because oftentimes, we have this childhood dynamic of whatever it was and things like that. So oftentimes this is the foundation of unhealthy adult relationships, because when you don't have boundaries, sometimes you're not attracting good people, you're not valuing your own time and energy, low self-esteem central, and not great relationships. So sometimes when we begin to do that boundary work of setting healthy boundaries, taking care of our energy, actually respecting our time and energy, other people can too, because sometimes our relationships mirror our own internal dynamics and things we're working on or working through too. So healthy boundaries is actually one of the foundations of having better energy and also having healthier connections in our life too, because when we can better respect our own energy and things like that. And I found it's a necessity for navigating Earth with just so many energies, and we talked about connections and things like that, that you're actually needing to set healthy boundaries in all of your connections. This could just be friendship, this could be romantically, this could be wherever. So healthy boundaries help you to protect your energy, and to also, we're talking about saying no to things that are not aligned with you, open you up to things that are more aligned with you too, because you're not going to be busy. And I feel a lot of our problems of how we get stuck in previous karmic cycles were from having not great boundaries and not really kind of having that, we'll say, energy balance with it. So if you've done all of this work on your energy, hopefully, some of you guys have done a lot of years of work on yourself, healing yourself and your energy, you're not just going to want to invite toxic people back into your space. So boundaries also protect you from things that are, we'll say, not aligned for you or not good for you too. So sometimes it's a must. It helps you to set healthy boundaries, to keep out maybe low vibrational energies or things you know aren't good for you too. Melissa Noel, dimensional shifts. Manifestation, harmony, and bringing your dreams into reality. And this is the Lyran energy of today with the 4-4 portal. This is all about bringing your dreams into reality. We think it like a dream in your head, daydream, right? We sometimes spend a lot of time daydreaming, probably when you're a kid, and they're like, get your head out of the clouds, stop daydreaming. So that space of daydreaming, whatever you're thinking about all day long, is very important as to your outer reality and how you will express it and even experience it. So we want to use today's energies to put our intentions out there. You can do this through visualization work, meditation work, just setting it out there, prayer, talking to the universe. You are all day anyways. What if you knew that all of those conversations you think you're having with yourself, you're actually talking to God and the divine in the universe? You might clean it up a little bit, right? But you're putting it out there, we'll say, right? And that's who you're talking to. So also clearing limiting beliefs and fears and focusing a little bit more on what you do want and making this a space of manifestation, because we're in a powerful space for creation with all of these higher energies coming into the planet, all these light codes hitting planet Earth. That's what they're for. They're for what we're creating and what we're working on. So for you also, some type of third eye work will help. I always say making your space less of a ego, right? Ego thing and more of a vision board, like how you would literally, a lot of people, and I like this, I know someone who made a really beautiful vision board and they like cut out everything really beautiful that they're manifesting and creating, and that's a really good idea because you could focus on it. You could literally put it on your fridge or somewhere you see it daily. You can leave little sticky post-it notes everywhere, but actually your third eye, because you're thinking all day long anyway. So maybe, you know, let's talk about the things we do all day long every day, cleaning up our house or whatever we're doing. You have a lot of free time where you're just thinking, like whether you're doing certain things. And sometimes we do things kind of on the subconscious level. We call that autopilot, driving, cleaning, whatever it is, work. No, I'm kidding, right? Things we do daily. So we have a lot of time to think. Just even if you spend 5 minutes a day instead of stress. Okay, cut off. Spend like 5 minutes a day, and this is how I manifest things, just staying focused, making your third eye your vision board. It could be thinking about the life you want, what you're working on. It could be a specific goal. It could be something material, something spiritual, whatever it is, bringing it into your reality, staying fueled up and focused on your dreams. I see Gail. Let's see. Gail. Fusion. Balance, schedule, heart living, and tantric union. I love it because, you know, later I'm going to be posting, I already did my little flame video and getting into union. Balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. I was kind of picking up on today, if that creates a lot of wounding for us, it can also bring a lot of healing into our life. Getting on that level of balance between the inner, ourselves, and the outer. And so that's the polar fusion of opposites and coming into divine union and union with the divine. So this is why it's important. Our connections, how we treat people, and of course our relationships and the work that we're doing too. And then with this is also about getting balanced, and it's like a lot with the day-to-day routine. So we started out the year with a lot of retrograde energy, and back with Mars retrograde, it was getting you to focus on your daily routine and what you're doing all day. So I know we're brushing our teeth, showering, things you do every single day. Pay attention to the things you do every single day. They're probably different for everyone, like little things that you do every single day. What if you really start to put good intentions behind these things? I know you're making your coffee, putting a little love and magic into it. Like, right? You're making your food, putting good energy, good intentions into it. How about yourself, right? You're doing your little, I gotta wash my face or shower, putting like cleansing vibes into it, or whatever you're doing. Also, I think that's also important to our day-to-day routine and how we're spending our time. I see a lot of people got a lot of time to scroll social media, and maybe if you took, not knocking it, took that 20 minutes and put it into, oh my God, we just need 5 for manifesting, we said, right? Just take 5 minutes of your day, get off social media if that's what you got to do, or, you know, you're just aimlessly spending your time. I always know when I'm like scrolling a lot, right? Or other things that you're doing that aren't great for you. Like you have a bad habit, try to stay away from it and try to put that time into something healthy. They say when we're trying to get rid of a bad habit, whether it's like smoking, drinking, whatever we're doing, to put it into something healthy. So like instead of, you know, you get rid of a negative habit, go to something healthy. It could be like something as simple as adding smoothie to your daily routine. I'm trying to drink a glass of juice a day lately. Like, right? Putting that in to get healthy. Are you eating your veggies? Are you having your fruit? Right? Little things that are good for us. Are you doing your multivitamin? Are you meditating? Are you doing some type of energy clearing practice? Because we're picking up a lot of things and a lot of outside energies. You know, are you doing things that are healthy for you? Are you focusing on your manifestation practice and doing things that are good for your energy? So say you have a really negative habit of like, you know, hanging out with not pick a negative girlfriend, you know, and it's not very good for you. Maybe just get off the phone, stop talking to them, get rid of the connection, go out in nature for the 20 minutes and spend some time on yourself. And so sometimes we're being guided to really look at our life and how we're spending our time, because this is how we can make the best changes of like what we're doing with our time. Time is energy, is money. And so sometimes we're being guided to like just look at the little things and how we're spending our time, energy, and focus daily too. It could be what's going on with your mindset, you know. You could be, you know, really optimizing your time too. I know a lot of people are putting a little bit of time into watching podcasts that are good for you, maybe reading books that are good for you. I know I was telling myself I went through a major learning phase that hasn't stopped. I love to learn new things, right? Could be studying something new, taking a class. I have so many of them on my website. So, you know, if you're feeling kind of stuck or you want to shift out of a 3D pattern or how you're spending your time, you know, doing something really, really good for you spiritually, whatever it is. Oh my God, that healing work I'm trying to get you guys to do. But just look at how you're spending your time and what you're putting your focus on. And if there's areas that you could improve, or, you know, you're kind of wasting a couple hours a day not doing much, maybe you could look at that and like what you're doing with your day routine to help you to be more balanced energetically too. So if there's any areas that are kind of throwing you out of balance, stressing you out, or whatever it is, just taking a deeper look at your daily routine and how you can kind of tweak it. Okay, I'm going in that note anyways. I'm going to be around doing 4-4 healings all day. I have a bunch of them on my site. They are pinned on this video to make it easy. So great day if you guys do need any type of healing or activation work. Awesome way you guys can be harnessing and connecting with the energies of the 4-4 portal. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy your 4-4.